Hello, this is Monica Jones, and this is my trauma explanation summary. So, the young lady I'm speaking to today is a 17-year-old Caucasian woman who was sexually molested from the age of 3 to 12 years old by her father, who was later killed in a robbery. Although she never told her mother what her father did to her over the past 9 years, she believed that her mother was aware and chose to ignore the problem because she was afraid of her abusive alcoholic husband. So after her father passed away, she turned to drugs and alcohol to cope with the many years of pain she had to deal with from her abuse. And unfortunately, she was re-victimized by a family friend who raped her multiple times at the age of 16. So after getting in trouble in school, having run-in with the law, she became a part of Children and Family Services, and she overdosed on drugs. And during her visit at the hospital, her social worker and doctor were talking, and they thought they saw signs of PTSD. So in addition to the judge ordering her to have a probation officer and a court-appointed special advocate, which I'm playing the role, he also ordered her to attend rehab and therapy. So now I will be having a discussion with my client. Hi, Nikki. My name is Miss Jones, and as you know, I am your court-appointed special advocate. We spoke a little. We spoke earlier this week about you attending therapy, and I know you're reluctant, but the judge, your probation officer, your social worker, and I all believe that this will be beneficial for you. So I put together some information that I believe your counselor may discuss during your session, and it talks about trauma. And I wanted to address this prior to your session so that you'll have a little knowledge of what he or she may be talking about with you. And during our session, if you have any questions or concern, please stop me at any time, and I will definitely address them. I have books and websites you can review for additional assistance if you require that as well. So the first question is, what is trauma? Trauma can be described as being exposed to disturbing or distressful events, which may make you feel powerless, helpless, or afraid. And the impact of these events leave you unable to cope appropriately. For some, it may occur once, or others repeatedly. Trauma can be unintentional or intentional. It can occur directly or indirectly. So some of the different types of trauma that people experience may be natural disasters, injuries or illnesses, death of a loved one, and in your case, witnessing or experiencing domestic violence, abuse, molestation, and rape. So while reviewing the Kids Matter website, I discovered that if left untreated, childhood trauma impacts an individual emotionally as an adult. You can have social and behavioral problems, impaired psychological and physical health, and trauma changes the way children understand the world, the people in it, and where they belong. So hopefully when you go in to see a counselor or a therapist, they'll be able to help you understand things differently. So the descriptions of the impact of trauma, there are three of them that I would like to address. The first is emotional and psychological. So the Help Guide organization listed different emotional and psychological symptoms of trauma, which may include shock, denial or disbelief, confusion, anger, irritability, and mood swings, fear, anxiety, and depression. Some people feel guilt, shame, and self-blame, withdrawing from others, feeling sad, helpless, or numb, hopeless or numb. Some of the physical symptoms may include insomnia or having nightmares, fatigue, easily startled, and agitation. So as we know, the body and brain have a unique connection when it comes to trauma. And trauma affects both the body and the brain. Trauma affects the development of the brain, causing mental health issues, or the brain can get stuck in the past and you cannot participate in new experiences. In school, we are assigned books to read, and one book called The Body Keeps the Score. Van der Kolk suggests we must protect our emotional brain because it is the heart of the central nervous system, and its key task is to take care of your well-being. We must also take care of the body because when it is impacted, it provokes our ability to react to fight, flight, or freeze, activates flashbacks, and responds to symptoms of PTSD. So once you get into therapy, your doctor may talk about symptoms associated with PTSD. And another book that I recommend is called The Body Remembers. And in the book, Rothschild discuss different symptoms of PTSD. And one of them is hyperarousal, which means behaviors such as rapid breathing, increased heart rate, anxiety, irritability, and uncontrollable outbursts. You may also have insomnia or unable to concentrate. He also talked about hypoarousal. In this state, your brain may freeze, you become disassociated, which means feeling disconnected or losing touch with things going around you, or you feel outside of your body. You may be unable to form coherent thoughts, withdraw from people and events, you shut down or avoid conflicts. Re-experiencing means reliving traumatic events, unwanted memories, or upsetting thoughts over and over in different ways, which may include nightmares or flashbacks. Avoidance or numbing is when clients resort to different coping mechanisms to resist revisiting or remembering the threat of negative or past acts. Your therapist may also bring up triggers, which are certain cues that are reminiscent of past traumatic events, to include smells such as cologne or cigarette on somebody's breath. Sounds may trigger a reaction such as slamming doors or a specific tone of voice. Visuals may remind you of things such as a mustache or specific eye colors, or things said may remind you of that person or the event. And re-victimization is a big one, which occurs often in children of sexual assault and can occur because you never received treatment as a child and you remain under distress because of unresolved issues. According to an article written by Layler and McElveny, childhood abuse may interfere with normal development of interpersonal relationships, decrease abuse victims' awareness of danger, and result in negative long-term effects, causing victims to avoid or cope with negative emotional states, creating challenges, and recognizing dangers and cues. So in order for you to overcome some of these symptoms of PTSD, your therapist should talk about developmental needs. So if your doctor says something about balanced cortex and limbic system, this means balancing your thoughts, emotions, and your actions. The doctor also wants to see if you thrive by treating symptoms of PTSD and allowing you to heal physically, emotionally, and psychologically, which allows you to blossom socially. We want to be able to find new coping mechanisms instead of turning to drugs and alcohol. We want you to find therapeutic intervention approaches to change destructive behaviors. Identify triggers and find ways to reduce or handle them. Equip you with grounding techniques, which are, for example, feel safe when you hear a door slam, or you understand what is considered a good or bad touch, or being able to tolerate specific smells. We want to provide you with tools and techniques in therapy to help you overcome this trauma, whether it's through breathing, meditation, Pilates, yoga, visualization, or other techniques. And most importantly, we want you to be able to reestablish and develop healthy relationships by building trust and rapport with others on both personal and professional levels. Okay? So just remember, our overall goal is to ensure that you're safe, healthy, and happy. I hope this conversation was helpful, and if you have any questions, information on the website or the books I reference, please feel free to let me know. Contact me at my office, and if I'm not available, please leave a message, and I would definitely get in contact with you as soon as I'm able to. And I look forward to talking to you after your initial session. Okay? All right. And these are the references I use to help me with this presentation. Thank you.